Okay, I have already replaced the AV mounts. Um, I did fix the chain brake. The chain brake is a little, it's new to me, I just tell you that. I had to watch a few videos to learn how to actually do that, put it back together. But it works. So good, good to go on that. The only issue that I'm having right now is, okay, to put the new dog spike on here, it would sit right there. But you see the case is broke right there. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to mount this on here. I already know what I'm going to do for the bottom. So the bottom piece is it's wallered out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a longer boat through it, back through this way, and I don't know if I'll be able to hold it or what, but I'm going to try my best to put it on here. If not, this hole right here where the bottom piece goes to, what I'll end up doing probably is filling it full of wood. It's a cheap and easy way to fix it. Just put some wood down in there. I mean, you force it in there. If you beat it in there, it's okay. Just, you need it real tight, and then take something and cut it off flush with the hole, and then take you a self-tap, cut the end of it off. So I got a self-tap right here. Cut this end off. You want this all the way gone. That way you got those big threads, and it'll fill the hole up. And this right here is an 8mm, so it'll fit. Might have to Dremel it out just a tiny bit, but that's okay. I know this thing doesn't look like it's clean, but it's like it's baked. That's what the color looks like after, you know, many uses on this saw. This saw was really heavily used. The piston and the cylinder really was not in that bad of shape at all. I mean, really, there was not even any scoring or anything like that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a hyway kit on this saw. I did purchase the fiberglass tops, the back and the front. The reason why I did that is because I actually like the look of it. Plus, it's cheaper than buying the OEM plastic. My plastic is beyond. I mean, I can put it back on there and use it. It'd be no problem. I have no idea how to restore the plastic, to be quite honest with you. To get the orange color to pop again, I have no idea how to get it to do that again. Another thing I had to purchase was the cradle for the carburetor, because the one that I had these two right here broke off of it. So it really couldn't sit down into the tank right here. The little lines goes all the way around the tank in. Somebody had it like, what's that stuff called? Daggone it, what is it called? You put it on windows and stuff like that, but it turns spongy. But that's what they had on this. I like this because it has the original trigger, the on and off switch, wires and stuff like that, which I do have. Mine's still for my coil. Only thing I gotta do is I gotta air this thing off and clean it a little tiny bit. It's not that bad a shape. I mean, it's a little dirty, but not bad. One of my biggest, I'd say the thing that I'm actually really worried about is putting the trigger back in, because I have no idea how to put this thing back in. I might have to find a video on how to put it back in. I do have a full wrap. It is a cheap full wrap. It's not an OEM or anything like that. See, it's just a cheap OEM. Not an OEM, but it's just a cheap version of this. But it does fit this saw. I do have something else too. I did buy a guard. I mean the clutch cover, a new one. This one's for a 660. This is an actual Stihl. It's not an aftermarket, which is great. And then I bought a new starter cover. Well, this is not new. You can tell this is old, but it says Stihl right there. This was a labor of love right here. Getting all this switched out onto this one. Again, this stuff doesn't look like it's clean, but it's clean. It's just baked on there. Like, you know, people that cut pine trees, please clean your saws after you cut with them. That is the reason why some of your saws fail. They just don't work for you anymore. I don't know how to explain that, but they fail. Got some new hardware for the bushings and stuff like that, which the OEM ones were not that bad at all. I'm gonna keep them, or I'll probably just I'll probably give them away to somebody that needs them. But these are really not that bad shape. Now the caps that go over them, those things were bad, so I threw them away. Other than that, I got a pop-up piston, and I gotta clean the coil, some other stuff, but that's okay. I don't know if I want to slap that 36-inch bar on this thing and cut with it, because it's literally overkill, and I really honestly don't need it. I like it, but I don't need it. Like I said, I like it, but I don't need it. This is a huge, God, that's a lot of bar for the saw, but after it's ported and all that stuff, it'll do good. Yes, I'm going to port it. That's the reason why I bought a hyway kit and not the OEM. The OEM is sitting in dishwater, soaking, cleaning it. It's actually looking pretty good. It's some of the grease and stuff starting to rise up off of it. But after I get all the fun that I want out of this saw will be sold. The piston and the cylinder will go with this saw. I'll even throw in the original plastic and the pull, I don't know, probably end up selling that. The pull cover and the clutch cover, I'll probably clean those up and sell them. Because I got the 660 original clutch cover. This is Stihl. It's not aftermarket, which is awesome. This is going to be the newest thing on the saw, basically, except for the piston and the cylinder and the top covers. Everything else is OEM. But I'm gonna put this thing together, and no, I'm not gonna film it because I noticed a lot of people don't watch, so I'm gonna skip. Big 28-inch laser bar, chain, big dogs, big bore kit, but you know, I'm not going to cut with it until I let this thing run a few tanks out of it to let well, about 3 or 4 actually. let the rings set up in it, and go from there. I just wanted to put that bar on there, because that's the shortest one I got for, a Stihl. I did have a 20, but somebody took that from me. I don't know. I might still have one here somewhere. Let's see. Oh, there's a steel chain. I mean bar. Well, oh man. Let's flip you guys around here so you can check it out. All right. Like I said, I put new AVs on it. Top covers are Farm Tech. This is OEM. I had to buy a new one because the other one that I had was cracked all to pieces. OEM clutch cover. These are not OEM. This is aftermarket muffler, which is a Neotech. Let me flip this thing around here. Aftermarket wrap. Stihl starter cover. The brand new one that I bought for this didn't last very long. 3 pulls and she was done. This right here is a old, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is a Pioneer handle, but I got it in there and it works fine. The saw runs really good. It sounds really, really good. The guy that had it had it idling way too high, so I had to turn the idle down. Let's start up so you guys can hear it. I'm not gonna lie to you, this thing is a beast to start. I just put bar and chain oil in it, I put gas in it, I started it up, runs fine. Like I said, it idles way too high, I think. Yeah. Let's see if she'll start for you guys. Oh, and for some reason my on and off trigger not working. It's not wanting to go back over the hump and touch the metal part to ground it out. I don't know why. I'll have to mess with it to get it running. Push the choke down to get it to choke itself out and stop it. At least I know the oiler works. There's oil already on the chain. I do have two 28-inch chains. This one on here is the one that I use with my Samara bar for the Husky mount, and I got another one here that came with that McCulloch 28-inch bar that I had. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is like a knockoff of an organ. And I never sharpened it, but I think I need to, because the last time I cut with it, I think I hit the dirt, and I never did mess with it ever again. But I think I will. I think I'll use it for this bar. That way I can have this chain with that bar, and I don't have to mess with it. Phew. Could you imagine trying to sling this thing around right here with this honking beast of a motor? I think I'm going to let at least 4, maybe 5 tanks run through this thing before I even cut with it, because it does have a hyway kit on it with a pop-up piston. And I did fix the dogs on the inside where the case was broke off. So what I did was, right there, I grounded it down and I took a piece of metal and extended it out and I bolted it onto the case, and then I bolted it onto the dog, which it did work. There's no slop or play in it or nothing like that. I mean, it's firm, but I think that it broke off, like whenever the person that had this before me or whoever, I think that when they broke it, they broke the piece of the serial number off with it. But yeah, I think it sounds really good. I'd like to get a OEM muffler. I'm gonna show you this muffler that I did have. Okay, this is the one that came off the saw. Let me dump all this stuff out. Nope, I can't use that. I need to put the tag on it. Oh, there it is. Bolt. Okay, I know for a fact that this is a 66 or a 660 muffler because it's got the spark arrestor in it and it's got a huge hole right there. But if you look at that front cover, what's wrong with that front cover? Big hole right there. It doesn't seal. The bottom of the exhaust is not shaped like that. It's shaped like the one over here on the saw. So my guess is this is either a 044 or 46 muffler print, and this is the original back piece that came with the saw. Somebody probably crushed this thing, had something hit it or whatever happened to the saw. Cosmetically, there's nothing wrong with the saw. I mean, you guys seen it, it runs, but man, this thing is, it's nasty. God, it's nasty. I might look for me a OEM, a 660 or a 066 one to put back on this, because I'd like to have a West Coast dual port. They're only like 25 bucks. Put it on the side here. Or I don't know. I'll just have to go just look, I guess, until I find one, or buy a aftermarket exhaust off of a exhaust maker that has the spark arrestor screen in it. I would like to sell this saw to somebody that will actually use it, like for logging, or if you run a tree service or something like that. That way you're not going to get in trouble for not having a spark arrestor in your exhaust. Okay. This has taken me since about 11 o'clock today, and it is, I think it's around 3, which is not bad. I did pressure wash this thing off to clean the case. That daggone piece of plastic sticking off the rubber mount there. It's not all the way on there. That's alright. So what, 5-6 hours? Complete build. So I think it turned out pretty good. It sounds good. It runs really good. I wish you guys would have heard it when I first fired it up. Man, that thing was super loud. It was idling way too high. So I backed it down, and that's where she's at there. I like mine to barely bump the chain, just barely. I have worked for a tree service for 7 years, 3 different ones. Some guys like to have theirs moving, like just barely moving, then some people like theirs to racing. I don't know why. I mean, I know you got a chain brake or whatever, but if you back it down, it's still going to do the same thing that you wanted it to do. I don't. It's just to have the saw running without it choking itself off. But you know, you can't tell people they don't understand that part, and they really don't want you to tell them they're doing something wrong. But like I said, I barely want mine to like just bump like that. But I think it turned out pretty good. But until the next video, you guys have a wonderful day. Man, that's a beast. It's a beast.